Oh, these colors just makes me so happy. My goodness. This is so much fun. Hi friends, I hope you're doing well. Today I've got almost a full face of makeup on because I'm gonna be doing 2 eye-focused looks surrounding 2 brand new eyeshadow palettes. You guys, I'm so excited about these. Anastasia Beverly Hills is sponsoring today's video. I always get so excited to work with them because I get to kind of have like a sneak peek before things launch and test them out, things like that. This specific eyeshadow palette launch, well, there's 2 actually, 2 palettes. There's something about Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadows that just like really feel nostalgic to me. And then this new launch really took the nostalgia up a level. Let me show you. They just launched 2 mini palettes. One is the Modern Renaissance. Come on, are you not excited? This color story like literally made me fall in love with eyeshadow. And I feel like that was the case for so many people. And then we have a mini version of the Sultry Palette, which I'm so excited about because nowadays I'm way more into cool tones than I was when this first launched. So back in the day, I didn't really get into Sultry as much as Modern Renaissance, but now I'm so excited about both. So these are the cutest little palettes. Let's play with Modern Renaissance first. It comes in this gorgeous kind of mauve-y packaging. It's so pretty. Each palette has 9 shades. In the Modern Renaissance palette, there's mostly matte colors. You'll see later in the Sultry palette, there's a little bit more metallics and things like that. But I feel like the reason why we all loved the Modern Renaissance was mostly for the matte colors. You can see I've played with this one, so I will show you guys the fresh palette before I went into this to test it out, and some swatches as well so you can get an idea of how they all look. I can't even begin to tell you how excited I am to create a look with this palette. I'm gonna start off with the center shade right here, which is called Buon Fresco. This was my favorite color in the palette. It's been so long since I've used the Modern Renaissance palette, but by golly, does this bring back some memories already. Like this color alone is absolutely everything. I'm gonna take this in the crease and then just buff above a little bit as my transition shade. I'm also gonna take that same color, same brush. I'm gonna pinch the brush and apply this to the lower lash line. This is one of the best like mauve eyeshadow colors that I've ever tried. I feel like this was one of my most used shades in my Modern Renaissance palette when I first bought it. I'm so happy to have that color on my eyes again. We are gonna move right next to that into this toasty color right here. This is called Raw Sienna. Just the names like take me back because this is a palette that I used so many times and so did everyone. I feel like so many people on like OG beauty YouTube use this palette, and so just like seeing the shade names again really just makes my heart flutter. We're using this to kind of add a little bit of warmth to that outer edge. And you guys know that typically, you know, when I do eyeshadow, I like to do my eyes first. So I'm just being extra careful since I do have my base makeup on. I just wanted this tutorial to be more of an eye-focused video. So if you wanna know what else I have on the face, I'll have it linked down below. But if you're following along, I typically would say, do your eyes before your base, especially when you're going into more of an intense eye look or more of like a smoky eye. Luckily, these shadows don't really have too much fallout and they blend like a dream, so I'm not really having issues, even though I've already done most of my makeup. Next, I'm gonna take the dark brown shade in the palette. This is called Cypress Umber, of course. And I'm gonna use this on the very outer edge just to add a bit more depth. Also taking that same shade and going along the outer third of the lower lash line. I feel like it just wouldn't be right if I didn't use this color right here, which I feel like when this palette first launched, this is kind of the color that made us all want the palette, even though I feel like, you know, most of us dipped into the other colors on most days. This to me was the color that really stood out from any other palette I had seen before this. So I'm just gonna actually pack this color kind of right here. So a little bit in front of that dark brown that we just applied. By the way, this is the shade Love Letter. Oh, these colors just makes me so happy. I just want a pop of that color in this look to get the full Modern Renaissance vibe. Actually blend it in with that dark brown. It looks so pretty. I feel like back in the day when I used this color, I would typically go pretty like fuchsia with my entire look, but when you add the deeper neutrals, it really just kind of softens everything. It makes it super wearable. I'm gonna take a little bit of that same color and just pop a little bit along the lower lash line just for a little hint of that romantic pinky red color. My goodness, this is so much fun. This is so much fun. Okay. I'm just taking the brush that we were using before and really smoking out all those mattes. All right, now we're gonna go into Primavera, which I hit pan on real quick in my original palette. This was my favorite for all over the lid. We're gonna pack that on the lid with a fluffy brush, focusing it mostly where we don't have any shadow. And then as we get toward that purple shade, I'm just kind of blending that into the purple. I might have to go back in and add a little bit more to make sure we still have that Love Letter shade as a main part of the color story here. But oh my goodness, this color all over the lid, it's really taking me back. I'm also gonna take that same color, same brush, and just pinch the brush and add that to the lower lash line. Then I'm gonna take the lightest shade called Tempera. This was another shade that I just loved. And I'm gonna use that to kind of highlight the brow bone a bit. All right, we're going back into a tiny bit of Love Letter just to make sure we blend it into the shimmery shade on the lid so we still have a bit of that color showing through. That is so beautiful. I can't even tell you how happy I am to have these shades on my eyes. Oh, I love them. We're gonna top off the look with some mascara. Today I'm gonna use the Lash Sculpt from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I'm gonna really layer up this mascara since it's a bit more of like a smoky eye. I wanna make sure there's like a good amount of volume on the lashes. To complete the look, I also wanted to use the Glow Seeker highlighter. This is brand new from Anastasia Beverly Hills as well. The shade is Sun Idol, and this is supposed to be like a similar vibe to the Anastasia Amrezy highlighter, which was like my favorite. I was so excited to see that they were launching this. Look how beautiful, first of all. It's so pretty. I cannot wait to put this on the face. Now with this one, I've swatched it off camera, but I haven't yet tried it on the face. I wanted to save that for like a little first impressions moment. So let's go ahead and pop this on the high points of the cheeks. Oh my goodness. It has the most beautiful like golden undertone to it. Okay, this whole vibe is just taking me back, honestly. Like having a little bit more of a beaming highlight. We've got modern renaissance on the eyes. What more could you ask for? Oh my goodness, so pretty. It's one of those formulas that melts into the skin. I feel like this would be an incredible inner corner highlight as well. So I'm gonna pop this in the inner corner to brighten and a tiny bit right under the brows. Okay, for lips, I'm gonna wipe off any foundation that got on the lips. And I'm gonna go into the Anastasia Beverly Hills lip liner in the shade Hazelnut. This is kind of like a toasted peachy nude color. And then I'm gonna add a little bit more of like a mauve tone using the Dusty Rose lip gloss, also from Anastasia Beverly Hills. And there you have it. There's the first look using the mini Modern Renaissance palette. I mean, come on. If this doesn't give you throwbacks in the best way, I don't know what does. I'm obsessed with how this looks. It's just so nostalgic to me. There's so many looks you can create with this. I love that there's mostly mattes in here if you're a matte toned girly. And if you're already a fan of Modern Renaissance, you're gonna love this. Or maybe you used to have Modern Renaissance and it's been a while. This is a great way to bring back that nostalgia in a little mini palette. Like, it's just so good. I don't want to take off this eye look, but we're gonna jump into the mini Sultry palette next. I can't wait to show you how gorgeous this one is. All right, the second palette is the mini Sultry. This is such a stunning, like smoky eye palette. While both of them I feel like are perfect for fall specifically, this one is like extra perfect for fall. It's just like a classic smoky eye palette. Of course you can wear this all year, but like it's really screaming my name. I used to not be into cool tones at all. And now that's like all I wanna wear. So I'm like extra excited about this palette. Like I said, back in the day, I really was not familiar with this palette. I think I used it a couple times, but it just wasn't my vibe to do like cool tone smoky eyes. And now I'm obsessed. So I'm really excited about this little mini version so I can revisit this color story. I'm gonna start off with this taupey matte color called Twig. And we're gonna use this as the transition shade. Oh, before I get ahead of myself, let me show you the swatches because this swatched so beautifully. And you'll see, unlike the Modern Renaissance where that had mostly mattes, this one has 5 mattes and 4 shimmer shades. And the shimmers are so buttery. The mattes are also so buttery as well. I feel like you can never go wrong with the Anastasia Beverly Hills formula. But yeah, this color story is insane. I'm really, really obsessed with it. Well, if that's not the perfect little taupey transition shade, I don't know what is. I love that. All right, we're gonna go with this color next, which is gonna add a tiny bit of warmth. This shade is called Birch. And I'm gonna add that warmth to the outer third of the top eyelid. And I'm also taking that right underneath on that lower lash line. While all of the shimmer shades are pretty, there's something extra special about this center color called Cyborg. It's like a silvery metallic, but the silver is not like too much. I don't know, it's a really beautiful, flattering silver tone. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pop that onto the eyelid, and you can see how buttery that is. It's just so beautiful. Taking the brush I was just using, and I'm just making sure the crease is still blended with some of those matte tones. I'm taking that same exact silvery shade, and I'm gonna add that to the lower lash line. And then I feel like we need a little more depth. So let's go into this color right here. That's kind of a gray. This is called Slate. And I'm gonna add even more depth after applying that silver, just right on top of those other shades on that outer corner. I feel like this will really enhance that more like gray tone that we have in the silver by creating a little bit of like an ombre effect into a more metallic color. This is so nice. I'm gonna take that same color and apply that to the lower lash line as well. In this palette, you do have kind of like an inner corner highlight color, and I love the more pinky undertone in this shade. This is called Pearl. I'm gonna add that to the inner corner just to highlight. And I'm just adding a little of that to the high points of the brow as well. I feel like this look needs a little depth along the lash line. So I'm taking the black shade in the palette called Noir. And I love creating like a shadowing with this. So I'm spraying it with my setting spray and then adding that as liner to the top lid. I'm taking whatever's left on the brush and just dragging that along the outer third of the lower lash line, really tight up against the lashes, just to create like a little bit of a lifted look on that outer corner. All right, same thing. We're gonna finish off the look with the Lash Sculpt mascara. And again, I'm going in pretty heavily with mascara. This time I'm focusing most of the product on this outer edge to really enhance that kind of lifted look. I feel like this look calls for the Anastasia Beverly Hills lip liner in the shade Muted Mauve. It's just such a pretty soft pink color. Now that the liner is on, I want a little more warmth in that crease, so I'm just taking the same color that we used earlier and lightly tapping a bit more just right there to add a slight bit more warmth. I'm gonna top the lip liner off with the Latte gloss. I just think this is such a perfect kind of cool toned brown that just fits the vibe of the eyeshadow palette. I'm gonna add a little bit more of the Glow Seeker highlighter, a little more blush with whatever's left on my blush brush. And then of course I'm going to set it with the Anastasia Dewy set. And there you have it, my little sultry smoky eye using the mini Sultry palette. I love how this looks. To me, this is just such a flattering palette. You really can do so many things with this. You have enough lighter and mid tones in here to do an everyday look with like this on the lid, this in the crease, even this to deepen things up. And then since you have a matte black in here, you really can take it completely in a different direction and go full smoky eye with this with some of these deeper tones. But you have a few different options. Like you don't have to stick to a silvery smoky eye. You can do like almost a bronzy, taupey smoky eye as well. This one is so beautiful, and I'm just really excited to have both of these in my hands. I want to know in the comments down below, which one is more your vibe? Are you a modern Renaissance girly or a sultry girly? I have to know. I feel like for me, this one really does pull at my heartstrings in just a different way than the sultry one is, because this color story and these shades are what I used for so many years. So my heart leans towards this one. However, the Sultry palette is also so beautiful, and I feel like I'm a new fan of this color story because it just wasn't something I was into a few years ago, and I'm really excited to explore this a little bit more, and I feel like this one for fall is gonna be a staple. Both of these palettes are available now. I will have them linked down below for you guys to shop, and also don't forget to check out the new Glow Seeker highlighter. I mean, if you were a fan of the Omrizi highlighter from many moons ago, you're gonna love this. This one's a little bit more like golden, I feel, but it's so pretty. It gives that like lit from within reflect. There's something so nostalgic about the highlighter paired with these palettes. I think it's just taking me back to a really, really good time in makeup. So yeah, thank you so much to Anastasia Beverly Hills for sponsoring today's video. It's always a pleasure to work with them and such an honor, let's be real. I've loved their products for so many years, and especially their eyeshadow palettes have a really special place in my heart. These palettes are no exception. Again, you can check them out in the description box box down below. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Again, let me know if you're the same as me and if these are really making you happy. I would love to know which one is your vibe, what you guys think, which look was your favorite. Tell me in the comments. I always love to hear from you. That's it from me today. I hope you all have an amazing day wherever you are, and I will see you in my next video. Love you. Bye.